Hello again. Um, Sorry for the inconvenience. These kind of things happen when you're on live. So it looks like it will rain, and I was sitting on the backyard in the garden. And yeah, so I wait again until everybody joins again. Hey Miguel, how are you? Saludos a Lima, Miguelito. Hey Jerome, hello Jenny, hello Ana Maria, hello Victor, Lauren, hello, hello Dale, hello Steinar. Oh, thank you for joining. How is now the sound? I hope it's better. I will try to speak louder so you can hear me. Hello, Janice. Hello, Karin. Hello, Marco. Hello, Lile Moore. Okay, I was saying before in the previous video. Hola, señor Luis. Oh, even my teacher is also joining this video. He's online. So I was saying in the beginning of this video that I didn't want really to write about this. I feel more comfortable sharing my own spiritual experience and how ayahuasca came into my life and how I accept the invitation to work with this medicine and to become a shaman. It has been now 8 years since I started this path, and things are going very good in my life in the last years. Things are growing and growing, and I'm very happy and very humble and grateful for all these blessings. And also, I really would like to share with you that you see that it's really possible, to follow your dreams, that there is never obstacles for us to embrace what we are or what we're supposed to do in our life. It's just a decision. It's about being strong, and overall about trusting and having faith that everything will be okay. And that's how I started walking this path. Since I'm a child, I didn't feel like, I belong in this planet. As soon as I start to have conscious of being here, I have so many struggles trying to understand the way of how humanity is functioning, how our societies are functioning. I was very sensitive, very open. I could feel people pretty much a lot, and this has affected a lot my life. I really feel like I will not be able, to make it till till the end to survive all these emotions, all the sensations. But at the same time, I was very happy to have this experience and to see what will bring me to be here. So my journey started basically when I was 16. And when I was 16, I remember I was feeling pretty much alone. I didn't know really what to do with my life. When you are 16 here in Peru, you should be finished the high school. And in that age, society and your family is requiring from you to know what you're going to do with your life. I really didn't know what I will do with my life. Any of the professions that were already in the market of life was calling me. So I just remember that I always say when I was a child that I will become a lawyer. I will study law because I want to help people, and lawyers help people. I didn't want to be a doctor because I thought it's too much responsibility. It's a big responsibility, to operate people and to open the bodies, and it's people's life in your hands. So I decided, okay, another way to help people then is to become a lawyer. And my first test started in that age. I come from a very small town, a small village that is called Tarapoto, and we are not so many people here. But I wanted to study in another town, which is the second biggest city here in Peru. The name is Trujillo, and because here in my town we didn't have the profession that I wanted to study, which was law. So my mother, she kind of tested me. So 1 week before the national test to enter in university, and this was while I was studying still in the high school. I didn't finish. And she told me, like, if you want to go to a big city, you should be able to enter to the university here in this town. And that way you can show me that you will be able and that you have the capacity to deal with a big city, because all the education is better and blah, blah, blah. That's what people believe here. So I have 1 week to enter to this university that I can go to study law. And, here the national universities, for each profession, they just give like between 4, 5, or sometimes 10, if you're lucky, spots to get into the university and in the profession that you want. And these tests are just 1 or twice a year. And it's like hundreds of people that goes and applies for entering these professions. So I just picked a profession. It was a new one. I was also thinking like, okay, if I don't enter and in this university, I don't know what will happen. And if I enter, I will see. So I decided to apply for become an environmental engineer. I remember that. And then I have, you remember, I have just 1 week to enter to the university. So what I did was to go buy all the old tests from the last 10 years from this university, and I studied all these tests. And then the day of the exam, I went, and then I came back home, and here in this town, they in the radio, they say like, oh, who was the person that are already in the university, and blah, blah, blah. So I was in my house alone, and then I turned on the radio to see, and I was like this, with the fingers crossed, because I really, really feel like I need to go out of this town just to experience more life, and that I will become a lawyer. So in the news, they start to pass profession by profession, like who has entered, and then it came this profession of environmental engineer, and my name was there in the first place. So I was like very surprised. I study a lot, of course, but I was very surprised that I was in first place. And everybody was happy. My family was happy. In the school, they were happy. It was also other people in my school that they entered to the university. I think we were like 3 or 4 more. But for me, my decision was already took. Like I knew I need to go to Trujillo. I knew what I need to do there, kind of. And then I need to say, to everybody, like, I have now the possibility to go in the university from the Peruvian government. And this here in Peru, this is a really huge thing, because you have for sure insurance your future and work, everything. So I need to say to everybody, like, no, I don't want to study that. This was just my first test that I just need to go to Trujillo and I need to become a lawyer. And that's my intention. I will not do anything with this. And everybody was, kind of disappointed about that, but I feel okay with that. Then I went to Trujillo. Fortunately, because of this test, I just got the invitation to enter in one university in Trujillo, so I didn't have to do the test again. I just need to accept the invitation, and I went there. And while I was there, the last year, but every year it was building this big depression and this big emptiness in me, and all my fears. I also didn't mention, like, for all my life, I had been afraid of darkness. I could never sleep, like, with the lights off. I was very sensitive. And when I was in Trujillo, then my last year in university, this feeling was just in the highest point. I was thinking, like, I thought I need to study this and I will find some answer to this. And I did. I realized that while I was working for the government, that our system is really not working, that our system is not made to understand the human nature, but it's a system just of punishment. And while I was working for the government as a lawyer, I was working with criminal cases. I was working, seeing both sides of the society, criminals being judged, victims giving their complaints about the criminals and so on and so on. And what I conclude in the end is that our government is not really giving us any solution. Like the criminals just becomes worse in the jails. The victims, they really never get rid of their problems or their suffering. They don't forgive. So it's, a change of pain and suffering that will never end. So then I understood we need to fix ourselves first from inside. If we will be able to find a different way to know how to deal better in this life, to find direction, to find answers. And the biggest answers or questions that we want and that we have in this life are the existential ones. That, why I'm here, why I'm doing here. Is this life about? Like, you come here, you go to school, you study almost all your childhood, then you go to university, then you need to work, then you need to marry, then you need to have kids, and then you're dead. And really for me, that didn't have any sense. And so I quit my profession. I say to everybody again, like, guys, this is not for me. I need to look for something else. And the funny thing is that in the same year that I was finished university, I met a guy that then will become my husband. And this guy, he was ready with his shamanic training. And I remember when I saw his picture, because it was a friend that introduced us, that I just knew, this guy will be my husband. And I went to meet him, and when I met him, he kind of gave me all the answers that I was looking in that time from my life. Like, he told me about ayahuasca, he told me about all this spiritual path, and all these things that has been always all my life here in the jungle. The only problem was that he knew the teachers to study this in Iquitos. And Iquitos was one of the towns that I really never wanted to go. But in that time, it was, it doesn't matter. If it's something that I need to go and do it there, it will not matter. I need to go there. That's the only thing I knew. So we went there. And again, I need to say to my family, to have the conversation, like to my mother and to my father, like I was already 22, and I told them, like, I'm very sorry for all the effort that you have put, that I can assist to university, but this is not what I want. And I'm going right now to the jungle. I will start, I need to find myself. And I also told them, like, I'm not asking for your permission. I already took the decision, and I'm going. The only thing is that you know this. So the next day, it was my flight. My parents, fortunately, they took it really good. So I went to the jungle, and there I spent 3 years of my life, 1 year and a half studying with indigenous shaman, Huitoto. His name is Luis Pinedo, and with his wife, she's a jaguar shaman. And they received me there in their place. My teacher, when I arrived there, he told me, just in my ear, he whispered, like, you will become a shaman and nobody will know. And I just laughed. And I laughed because in that time, the word shaman, it was such a big word for me. And it was my first time going there. And the only thing that I wanted just to find myself, to find answers. And it was a journey. I need to start dealing fear by fear, first to get rid of my fear of being alone in the darkness. I remember one of the best ceremonies I have was when that happened, when ayahuasca showed me a baby inside of a tree, and she told me, like, this is you. This is you like when you was in your mother womb. And you need to remember that when you was there, you didn't have any fears. You was not wondering if your parents will treat you good. You was not wondering what will happen with your life. You was just surrendering to come here. And I just remember all this nice feeling of feeling trust and faith and a feeling that it was just right to be there and that how much I really want to come here. And then she said to me, like, you just need to remember this. You are protected all the time, and it's nothing that you need to get afraid of. It's nothing in the darkness. And I remember that day because I was not able even to walk, along a couple of meters. And I was in the middle of the jungle without electricity. Every maloca, every house where we were doing the diet, it was so far away. And it's all the sounds, around. It was very, very difficult for me. And after that night, I think that happened after 6 months when I get rid of that. But I didn't let that my fear, for this darkness, for whatever I was afraid in that time, stop me. Because I just knew, like, this is something that I need and it's bringing me so much clarity now. For the first time, my life has started to have sense. I saw how we are all connected and how society and things are pretty much disconnecting us from ourselves, disconnecting us from each other. And to reconnect, first we need to reconnect with us, inside of us, to know who we are. And that's the first process that the shaman need to pass through. After these 3 years, I started to do my practices in a center. I was helping my ex-husband in that time. And then one day, he was from another country. Well, he's still alive, but I speak in the past because we are not together anymore. He came from an indigenous tribe from the North Pole, from the north part of Scandinavia, from Norway, Sweden, Finland. There is this tribe that is called the Sami people. And his mission was that through ayahuasca to recover the shamanic knowledge that was kind of erased when the Christianity came to Europe pretty much. And I was so in love with him, and I really want that I was in tune also with his mission and also with my mission. But still, until this time, I never felt that I will become a shaman. I just wanted to be a good person, and I knew that I want to help people. And if I need to assist in the ceremonies, that was okay for me. If I will need to be, the shaman's wife, it was okay for me. I just knew it was okay. And so he told me that now I have this feeling that I need to go back to my country and to start setting a life there. And this was after 3 years. So we got married. We traveled to Sweden. We were living in the north part of Sweden in Kiruna. I was there like for more than a year. And then things started to get really bad in the relationship. I will not go in details. And at the same time, I found myself without friends, really, without my family. It was like, again, like a dark time in my life happening. And I was very confused. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to perceive. And the only thing that kept me going is that things will be okay, things will be okay. And one week, my husband left. He went to a shamanic festival, and things was just getting worse and worse in the relationship. And in that time, I didn't have any work to do, so I didn't have any money that I can say, I will left. I was just supporting him all the time. And my family, it was not really agree with our marriage. So it was difficult to finish the relationship and then to come back. And I didn't embrace yet my path. So all this week, there up north alone, and not able to say to anybody like what's happening in my life. I started to receive visits in my while I was sleeping. I started to receive messages also in daytime. I really was thinking that I'm going nuts. I started to see like these small balls of light flying in my room, and I started to hear voices as well. This will sound really crazy, but I don't know. This is what happens in my experience. And this big message that you are ready and you need to go, you will get ill here, this place doesn't want you here. You know since a child that your life and your journey, it will not be in Peru, that you will travel, you know this. And I was, yes, I know. Then when you will start trusting your path, this is your path. You have trained to become a shaman. You have trained the same like your husband and the same like other shamans. You have done the training. And I was like, but this is a big responsibility. This is like a responsibility of people's souls in my hand. How you are inviting me, but I need a confirmation. Like, I was really like, give me a confirmation, something more strong than just, voices hearing in my head. So what happened was that this big message came and say, today is the day of Archangel San Rafael. And I know, in this time, I was not so much into angels because that's completely different culture or a different thing than from the jungle stuff or from the ayahuasca stuff. But then later, of course, I understand that angels and religion, it doesn't have anything to do together. They are just ascendant teachers, spirits that are vibrating in higher frequencies, and they are here to support us, to help us, that we keep going. So that day when they told me, like, this is the day of Archangel San Rafael, I'd sit on my computer. In every page I visit that they talk about angels, that was the day of Archangel San Rafael. And then when I read about him, and it was this, message in every place. Archangel San Rafael is the archangel of healers and travelers. So there was my confirmation, there was my answer. But still, even though you have this big confirmation, I still didn't have money to be in Europe. I didn't have a house because divorcing and living in the house was not mine. Nothing was really mine. And like I say to you, I was not working. I was just supporting my husband. So I was pretty much in zero. So I spoke with my husband and to see how we sort things out. And, well, it was difficult. It was difficult. He didn't want to support me. His mother, at the end, gave me 2,000 euros. This was the money for my ticket to go back to Peru. And I said to her very honestly, I will not use this money to come back to Peru. I will use this money to start traveling here in Europe because I have received this message and it's what I will do. And if things go wrong or bad, I will take that responsibility with me. And really, people, I was ready to sleep in the streets. I just knew that I need to be there and that I need to start this journey. For this also to happen, one week, during all this week that this message was coming to me, I also have started my group, Ayahuasca Shamanic, where I have started writing articles about spirituality, about how is the work with ayahuasca, because I have noticed like there are a lot of groups on Facebook and there is a lot of information that is missing about how this work is done. And of course, because most of the shamans here in the Amazon, they don't speak English. So you find a lot of books that are written, but big psychologists, psychiatrists, intellectual people. But really, this path and to understand spirituality is not complicated. It's very easy, and everybody is able to understand it in simple human words. There is nothing complicated in this path. So this same week where I start also this group writing, I also met a lady there in Kiruna, and she is from Netherlands, my dear sister. I will not say her name, but she knows who it is. And I remember that she was talking about her husband, that he was working with angels. So after this big thing with Archangel San Rafael talking with me, I was, praying because I just knew her like for a couple of hours and I didn't feel right. Like, could you give me your husband Facebook, I have this strange spirit, I want to talk with him. It just didn't feel okay to say it. So I just prayed to the universe and to say how I can get in touch with this guy. And somehow he added me. That week, he added me on Facebook, and we start talking. And I share with him this experience with the angels. And he told me, like, I need to talk with my angel group. They are based in Netherlands. They're a really big group, and I send them a lot of hugs and love. And they told me, like, this guy told me, I will let you know later about the answer if we are able to help you know. And this is, people, a completely stranger. He didn't know me. I just met his wife a couple of hours one day. And then he wrote me back later, and he said, like, we have checked your situation, and we want to support you. So let us know whenever you need to leave the house. We are living 1 hour from your place. We go with the car, and we take you from there. And the day that I need to leave came. I have a big argument with my husband, and then I understood, like, this is the last day, and I need to embrace my path. So I post also on Facebook that I will start traveling Europe, and that I will share the little that I know in exchange for a place to stay. And then, I will see how the things will go, of course. So I did this. I received some invitations, and I called this family, this Dutch family. They came 1 hour later. They were there picking me. I spent in their house 2 weeks. They contact me with a group in Netherlands where I also have place to stay. And like that's how all this traveling is starting. Then little by little, people started to invite to do ceremonies. I opened my Tai Tai Inti group, and this is the first part of my journey. I was just working with San Pedro, because for that time I was not ready yet feeling that I can start working with ayahuasca, because I was not drinking for 2 years. So I felt like it is not right. So I will need to come back to Peru and do again a diet and cook my own medicine to bring it back. And so I met some people that helped me in that process. I came back to Peru. I did my 15 days diet alone in the mountains, drinking the medicine for 15 nights. And then I cooked my medicine, and I came back to Europe. And also it was this big question for me, like, I'm young, I'm 29. In that time I was, how old, 25, 26. And this voice inside of me, like, who you think you are, that people will come to your ceremonies? You know how many old shamans are coming here in Europe and doing ceremonies with so much years of experience. And you will what? Just post on Facebook that you're having retreats and write what you know, or what you think what you know. And at the same time, big voice came, and said to me, like, don't listen to that voice. Everybody, every shaman that is right now 40, 50 years of experience have a start just like you. They have a beginning. Nobody has become wise and strong just from day to night. It's a process. And you are starting this process. You just need to trust everything will be okay. You have done the training. Trust, my child. Trust everything will be okay. And right now, it's 3 years from this journey. The people that has been with me from the beginning, they know the struggles that I have with the house, with not having a place where to stay. Here in Peru also, things has not been very easy for my family. When my parents divorced, they need to sell the house, so my mother is renting a place, my father also, and so I really didn't have a land where to come back and to start working in this, to open a center and blah, blah, blah. So I really need to work and to find possibilities, to find opportunities instead of finding obstacles in this path. And this year, things are changing. I came back, and one very important thing that I forgot to share with you was that the day I finished my training, and that was the day that also my whole existence kind of have sense, was the day that I came to say goodbye to my mother. And I was coming here and telling Mommy, it's time, I need to move now to Europe. And she told me, I have never shared this with you, but when I was young, when I was married with your father, I was 32 years old, and I could not have children. So we went to the doctors, we went to the hospitals, we went to everywhere that we could be able to have children, and nothing worked. So we decided with your father that because my father is the one that has been almost all his life with the plants and in the spiritual path, that he said, let's try it with the shamans. Let's try to find a person that can heal my mother. So they traveled like all Peru. They went to Quito, they went to Pucallpa. And in the end, when they were back in Lima, a little bit disappointed about that they could not find somebody to heal her, my mother stopped in front of a Virgin Marie statue, and she prayed that she wants really a baby girl. And then when she was back, somebody told her, like, there is a woman here in Tarapoto that is from Lamas. Lamas is a town half an hour from my town, and that she knows how to heal infertility. So she gave to my mother some plants, and then 1 month later, my mother was pregnant. And the message that my mother said to me, and this is how I received you, it was through the plants. So now the plants has given to me. So now the plants are taking you from me. And that was the day when everything started to also to have sense for me. When I feel like, okay, I have really a connection with the plants. And now this year, my father just gave me his land. And yesterday we were doing fun about it because this lady that healed my mother from her infertility problems, she's from Lamas. And now we have a land there, a land where we are going to start to build a center soon, if life help me. So finally, after 3 years, I'm very happy. I found my place. All these 3 years traveling here and there, wondering, where is my place, has just brought me here, half an hour from my town, from where this lady was giving healing to my mother. And I'm very, very grateful and looking forward to see what will come from that. So these guys and girls was my small journey, or what I can remember so far. But as you see, 3 years later, I'm still alive. 3 years later, since I took the decision of left all my comfortable life, but also unhappy life, where I decided to go in a journey, with just the money from my ticket to come back to Peru, in a place where I didn't have friends, where nobody knew me. And I'm just grateful that I accept that invitation, that I stand and I say yes to myself, where I say I believe in this, I believe in my training. And because of that is the things that I write, and I say, to people, like, it's possible. Everything is possible. And like I say, don't find obstacles, don't find excuses, find possibilities. Because a mountain stands in front of you, you will not say, oh, this is the end of my road. You say, oh, now how I climb this mountain, how I go around. Should I learn how to climb? I don't know, it's so many ways, people. You can do it. It's possible in this life that you are happy. And all your dreams can become true if you believe in you. And prepare yourself for whatever dream journey you have. Trust the universe, believe in you. The universe has brought you here, and you have chosen to come here because you're able to do it. And it's just miracle, your own existence. So embrace what you love in your life. Embrace what makes you happy, and go for it. Don't be afraid. And people, that was my history. Thank you so much for have been part of this. Like I say, for me it was very difficult to write about this. I feel that it was important to say it, to put it in words, that you can hear it from me. and also to do it, like a sharing, because I see you, all of you writing there. I'm very happy and I'm very touched that people want to listen this, and send you love to all of you. A lot of love, believe in you. Things will be okay. Everything will be okay. And here always you have a friend when things are going bad. Here you can always write, and you will not find judgments or anything bad, at least. Thank you, people. Hello, Lobisa, thank you. Hello, James. Some people are coming. I will upload this video. I don't know, people, if you use this space, if you want to ask any questions about ayahuasca or the shamanists here in Peru, you can do it. And I also would like to invite you to our common retreats this year. I'm starting to work with the shaman woman, and this woman has also been sent by the universe because really things are going very good, and I didn't find how to do it by myself, like with all the practical stuff and also with the work, because the people that are coming in the retreats are also people that really want to change, and that really demands from us a lot of effort and work. And the works that we are doing in the weekends, we really try to do a different work. That's why we work with a minimum group of people, like they feel that we care for them, because we really truly care for the people. And personally, I believe that the global transformation, the society that we want to have, it will happen if the individual transform. If we are able to heal ourselves, to open, to reconnect, to believe in us, then we are going to also open and reconnect and to believe in others, and like that to our countries, to our planet, through the universe. That's how it will happen. I want to share with you about this beautiful woman. She has been healed by a disease that is called Lyme disease. She was 10 years in wheelchair, and now I think 2 years ago, I don't know, I think some of my friends can correct me there, because the years, I really don't remember. She was in wheelchairs waiting for things to happen, basically that she passed to a better life. And she found healing in her second ceremony. This was with another shaman, not with me. And after this, we got in touch. She prayed with the universe that she wants to work with the woman shaman. And we met each other 1 year ago, and through all these months that she has been assisting to the ceremonies, ayahuasca has been teaching her how to work with the medicine, with her hands, and she has so beautiful gifts. And our work combined, it has become very strong. And in the weekends, things are happening, people. So if you want to meet us, please check our Facebook page, Taita Inti, or just in my Facebook page, our ceremonies. Mag is posting there. Our mail is info@taitainti.com if you want more information about the retreats. Our first ceremony, I think, is in 2 weeks in Sweden, and then we have in Denmark, and then we continue traveling. The second part of our calendar will be also posted pretty soon. We are also start to bring more people here to Peru for longer retreats. So for people that want to do deeper work, we are also starting to do this kind of work. Thank you so much for being here. And I love you, all of you. And we keep in touch. Hey, Sandra. Hey, Sarah. And from here, from my homeland, I say goodbye. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate you all were here. Believe in you. Keep trusting. Keep confident. Keep strong. Be brave. We need to be brave to follow our happiness. Nobody will come to save us, just us. Listen, because all the time your spiritual guides are talking with you. Universe, God, whatever you want to say, your angels, they're always in contact with you if you're open for them. So see you people. Bye.